My broadcast partner, Stephen MacDonald. I'm Kris Wright, and we have a fantastic Mac Red matchup for you tonight as Eisenhower is taking on Stevenson. And Stephen, with two teams coming off of losses in conference, how are these two teams going to fare?
Yeah, it's always fun when these two teams get together in a Mac Red battle. Stevenson Titans always playing the Eisenhower Eagles tough, and that's something that I had a chance to talk with head coach Justin Newcomb just a moment ago about. Here with Coach Newcomb on Shelby TV. Coach, starting out the year 2-2 overall, looking for that first win in the Mac Red play. How does that happen here tonight?
Well, I tell you, the last 2 weeks have been a dogfight with both Romeo and Dakota. Both games come down to the last play, and I think we're going to have another one of those moments here tonight where it's going to come down to either having to score or to get a stop. It's the way of life in the Mac Red.
Now, in the last couple meetings against Eisenhower, 3-2 in the last couple of years in this all-time series. Homecoming weekend this weekend for Eisenhower. How does the team sort of manage the energy in the crowd tonight?
Yeah, we've talked to the guys. It's always a great matchup when Stevenson and Eisenhower get together. One of the best rivalries in the state. We've talked to them about the rich tradition with Coach Bob Lancy and Coach Rick By, and we're excited for our kids to match the intensity level. We know Eisenhower is going to come out and play for their tradition and their homecoming festivities, so we got to match that intensity tonight. Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Well, we thank Coach Newcomb for his time with us here pregame on Shelby TV. Chris, I mentioned in that discussion with Coach Newcomb sort of the recent history between these two teams, but the all-time series led by Eisenhower 27-24.
That's right, and Eisenhower coming off of a big loss last week at Romeo. I got a chance to talk with Coach Smith just a few minutes ago to get his thoughts. Coach, tough loss last week at Romeo, close one. How do you bounce back against Stevenson tonight?
Well, yeah, it was a tough loss, but at the same time, we're 3-1 right now, which in this league, being 3-1 at this point is a pretty good start. So to bounce back, it shouldn't be hard to bounce back. We're playing our biggest rival. The kids know the importance of this game and the importance of it being our homecoming. So kids are prepared, kids are ready to play.
Couple turnovers last week from Preston Crum. How do you get him back on track, make sure he doesn't get in his head?
Well, it's funny because, there's other things that happen in a game. Preston, he's a great player, he's a great competitor, and whatever, he did in that game, he'll bounce back from any type of interception that he's thrown. I mean, those types of things just happen with quarterbacks, but Preston's a great player and a great leader on that field.
Coach, it's homecoming night. How is this crowd going to electrify your team?
Well, this is the greatest crowd, I think, at least in Macomb County. I mean, they're unbelievable. Our student section's unbelievable, and being homecoming like this, we got all the people coming back, all our alumni, so it's just going to be a great atmosphere.
Coach, good luck out there.
All right, thank you.
We want to thank Coach Smith for taking the time pregame. Stephen, this is a huge game, Eisenhower versus Stevenson, with huge Mac Red implications, but it's homecoming night here at Swinehart Field. We got the game coming up next on Shelby TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
first down.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Swinehart Field. It is a packed house here, standing room only. My name's Kris Wright, for my broadcast partner, Stephen MacDonald. We got a huge rivalry game. It's homecoming night here at Swinehart Field.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime we can get a Mac Red battle at Swinehart Field, it's going to be a good night. Always competitive when teams in this league go toe-to-toe, as we heard both coaches talk about in pregame. And this series all time has been no different.
That's right. Stevenson is the most played opponent. Biggest rival here, as you heard pregame Coach Smith talking about it, for the Eisenhower Eagles. It's going to be a big game, huge Mac Red implications. We got the student section right in front of us. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, Chris, I got here to the stadium about 4:30 today. Plenty of people arriving before I did, getting their tailgating in out in the parking lot just to our right. And they let the students in about 90 minutes before kickoff, something a little bit different today, being that it's homecoming. Usually gates open about an hour before kickoff.
You can feel the energy here tonight, and the kick is away. And we are a go. It will be a touchback. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and we'll get started from there.
And I'm really interested to see this Eisenhower defense take the field. A week ago against Romeo, seemed like the Bulldogs had them pretty well figured out. They like to bring pressure quite a bit last week, tried to get in the face of Caden Burrows, but the Bulldogs did well to pick that up. So we'll see how the Titans handle some of that pressure tonight.
Both these teams coming off of a loss last week. Eisenhower lost to Romeo 20-14. Close matchup. Almost a close matchup every week in the Mac Red. Stevenson takes a snap, and he will run right into his offensive lineman. That is number 5, Alex DeLory, the running back. They're going to say no gain.
And right away on the first play, just the push that middle of the defensive line gets, able to just push him right back into the running back.
Knight, the sophomore quarterback for Stevenson, in the shotgun. He's got DeLory to his left. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Changing the play at the line. Takes the snap. He'll hand the ball off right up the middle. DeLory able to get down. See if they'll give him the 30. I believe that they do. That's a first down.
Strong run up the middle. Just finds that opening right over the center. Able to make a nice little jump cut, get forward, and get down for that first down.
Knight takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it this time, running up the left side. And he's able to get another 10 yards on the carry, maybe 11.
Looks like a flag down back around the 30.
We'll get the call from our head ref. That'll be holding called against Stevenson.
Moves the ball all the way back to their 22-yard line.
And we are back underway. Minute gone here in this first quarter. Looking to throw. Knight throws it left, and it'll go out of bounds. Incomplete. Bringing up 2nd and 20.
And just forcing that throw to come early. Tried the far sideline, but again, just didn't allow the route really to develop.
Looked to be intended for Ronnie Hill Jr., sophomore wide receiver. Knight now. He's got Lucas Timbuck in the backfield, looking to throw. He's going to get chased out of the pocket, throws it. See what we're going to get. We're going to get a flag. That's got to be intentional grounding. Pressure up the middle. That was Lorenzo Macheri and Devin Steele. Let's get the official call. Intentional grounding. I'm going to say it happened, I believe that's the 8-yard line, just inside the 8-yard line.
We had intentional grounding on White, loss of down, 3rd down.
Nope, they're going to say the 4. They're going to call it the 4-yard line on that one. That's a loss of, that's an 18-yard penalty and a loss of down.
Yep.
A tough situation the Titans find themselves in this first possession of our ball game. At this point, really just trying to give themselves space to punt it away.
Knight takes the handoff running up the middle. That was number 22 in white, Jaden Alston, the sophomore, and they'll punt it away.
Excellent first defensive series by this Eagles defense, able to really gain control of that line of scrimmage. That was one of my things coming into this game, coming off that game a week ago against Romeo. Really want to see Eisenhower establish that line of scrimmage tonight. And on that opening drive, they were able to do just that.
Bryce Hurley and Connor Temple are standing on the Stevenson 30, waiting for this punt. It's up. And he'll call fair catch at the 34-yard line of Stevenson, and that's where this Eisenhower offense is going to take over.
And now we turn our focus to the offense, and Preston Crum had those 3 interceptions a week ago. I can forgive the last one, Chris. It was a very late game situation. You're trying to get that ball down the field and score to try and take the lead late and possibly win it on the road. I can forgive that one. But now you set him up with a very short field on this opening drive for the Eagles offense. So we'll see what Joe Youngblood can dial up.
Crum in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Right. That pass is caught by Hurley. Trying to get around the corner. And he's taken down at about the 30.
Nice easy pitch and catch on the screen out wide. Allows you to get an athlete like Hurley into space with a couple blockers out there in front of him. Nice, simple, yet effective play call on first down. And you know that Eisenhower will take their shots too as well.
Crum in the shotgun. He's got Kamari Charles on his left. He'll move him over to the right. Hands it off to Charles. Charles running left, trying to get around the corner, and he does. And he's stopped at about the 25-yard line. Looked like he almost had a shot there, but just couldn't get around the corner.
Eagles offense loves to run the ball as they go hurry up here. Use a couple guys in the running game. Kamari Charles, Bryce Hurley, and Tayshawn Terrell.
Man in motion, that's Bryce Hurley. They're going to change the play now. Crum now changing the play again. He'll take the snap, hand it off to Charles up the right side of the line, and he's going to get the corner, and he's finally brought down at about the 16-yard line. Looked close to a horse collar there, but no flag on the play.
Looked like it got up around that shoulder area to try and bring him down, but excellent vision. Just follows his blocks to the outside, and then from there it's all speed.
Cody Raymond talking to Marco Fodell right there, giving him words of wisdom. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line for Eisenhower. Crum takes a snap, hands it off to Charles, running up the middle. Getting about 4 yards on that carry.
Charles just gets those feet turning, runs into a bit of a wall. Just kind of leans forward for that extra yard or two.
Second down and 7. Crum takes a snap, looking to throw for the end zone pass. Oh, just out of the outstretched hand. Pass intended for Connor Temple there, the junior.
And it's interesting, I like the play call by Coach Youngblood here. I was just thinking to myself before they snapped the football, this is kind of that scenario where you can take that shot to the end zone. It was only 2nd down and 7, balls at the 14, so you do still have one more play to try and get that 1st down, and I wouldn't even be surprised. This could be, you have 2 plays to get those 7 yards.
Charles has been able to gain a good chunk of yards on most of his runs tonight, so let's see what they do here. Crum takes the snap, he's gonna roll to his left, throwing back right, and just out of reach there. Pass intended for Brandon Kedrow. Brings up a 4th down.
Nice play design, but see the rusher coming off the edge from the top of the formation, just kind of sped Crum up just enough to where it threw off the timing of that play. I think if he sets his feet a little bit more and is able to get a better ball off, we could be talking about 6 points.
But they're gonna try for a field goal here, about a 30-yarder. The kick is up, and it is good. A 30-yard field goal gives Eisenhower the 1st points of the game.
Plenty of leg on this kick. Looks like he could have hit it from about 50 that time. And of course, a positive for Eisenhower to come away with points on that drive, but you also have to feel on the flip side for Stevenson, they feel good about giving up just 3 points with a short field.
We'd like to thank you for joining us here tonight. Whether you're in the Shelby area or anywhere all around the world on Shelby TV on YouTube, thank you for joining us. My name's Chris Wright, alongside Stephen MacDonald. 6:54 to go here in this 1st quarter.
An already promising start for Eisenhower. You talk about on the defensive side, really got some pressure in the backfield on Knight that 1st drive. Pushed them all the way back inside their own 4. And then offensively, able to get the ground game going a little bit. That's something when I watched last week's game, felt like they never really got the run game going the way that they like to. So being able to do that on their 1st drive was especially important.
Another thing for Stevenson, they're gonna wanna keep it clean. They had a holding call and an intentional grounding penalty on that drive. Let's see what they can do here. Game time temperature mild, 75 degrees here, late September. It is a hot one, and it is a blackout in the student section, so they got to be sweating tonight.
Yeah, like we mentioned, top of our broadcast, they got here about 90 minutes before kickoff, so they've been here for a minute.
Knight takes the snap, he'll hand it off. Running on the left, he'll get down about the 26-yard line, a gain of 6 there for Alex DeLory. Second down and 5. They're going to say the 25-yard line is what he got to. Knight takes the snap. He's going to throw it. Pass is caught. And he'll get brought down after about a gain of 3 there. That pass caught by Ronnie Hill Jr., sophomore wide receiver.
Eisenhower loves to bring pressure. They know what they have in their front 7. They're going to bring 5, 6 guys almost every single time. So one way you can beat that is by getting some of these balls out quick, and they do on that play.
Knight takes the snap. He's going to run it himself, left side, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds. Maybe a yard or 2 short of the first down marker. They're going to call that 4th down. You are deep in your own zone. What is Stevenson going to do here?
I think you punt this ball away. As you see on the run, Knight looks like he got back to that 3rd down line of scrimmage. But yeah, I think you punt this football away. No sense in giving Eisenhower back-to-back short fields to start this game and really let their offense heat up a little bit.
Especially after your defense was able to hold them on that short field. So let's see what they can do now with a longer field. No, it looks like they're going to go for it. And Chris Smith doesn't like it. He's going to call a timeout.
Timeout. Blue.
Came up very quick to the line. Looked like they were setting up for that Philly push, as we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles do a few times already this season.
That's right.
So Coach Smith uses one of those first half timeouts. The broadcast of tonight's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Shelby TV. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Shelby TV.
We apologize for the technical difficulties there, but Stevenson was able to get a 4th down conversion. It's now going to be 2nd down and about 5.
It'll be interesting to see how Eisenhower's defense adjusts to the running ability of Knight as this game moves along. Burrows a week ago for Romeo had some scramble ability, able to extend some plays with his feet at times.
Knight takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, running up the middle. He'll gain about 4. That'll bring us to 3rd down and 1. Another short 3rd down opportunity for the Titans.
Good job on the keeper there by Knight, as the running back just hit a brick wall.
1st down is 1 yard away. Knight takes the snap. He's going to throw it. He's got Hill Jr., and he'll get pushed out of bounds at about the Eisenhower 48 for another 1st down. They're really moving this ball down the field.
And I think what this does too, Chris, is you just keep running that ball up the middle. You keep getting those read options with Knight at the quarterback position. You get those little quick throws out to the sideline. It's really going to open things up, I think, for them eventually to take a shot down the field. So we'll see when they elect to make that happen.
Knight in the shotgun. He's got Delory on his right. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself again. And this time he only gets back to the line of scrimmage. A big stop from his Eisenhower defense.
That time, not sure that Knight made the right decision keeping that football. Looked like he might have been able to just give that ball off to Delory. Yeah, really not much he could do with that football, as Mocheri was right there in the face of Delory at the handoff.
Man got put in motion.
Encroachment.
Blue. A heartbreaking 5-yard penalty. Second and 5 now for the Titans. Clock is ticking. Just over 3 minutes to go. Knight looking to throw deep. Pass intercepted! Braylon Burnside just playing it like he was a receiver. Catches that ball. It is Eisenhower ball at the 3-yard line.
Well, you'll see it here. He's looking that way the whole time. It's a beautiful ball, just loads up and unleashes it, but he has to look the safety off the other way. Burnside was streaking to the far sideline that entire time, knew where he wanted to go with that football. Knight has to look him off before he makes that throw.
First and 10 for the Eagles. Shadow of their own end zone here after the turnover.
That's really the one positive for Stevenson, is you basically just delivered a punt back inside the 5.
He'll hand it off. Trying to get around the corner, but he gets a good gain of maybe about 5 or 6 there. Kamari Charles on the carry.
See there, the left guard trying to pull around into that gap. Never quite got there. Looks like he ran into the center that time.
Second and 5, ball at the 8-yard line. Crum takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Charles again. Trying to find the hole. He'll only gain about 2 yards on that one. Brings up a 3rd down.
Not a lot of room for Kamari Charles, but again, just keeps those feet moving, picks up every yard that he can get.
Third down and 3 for the Eagles. Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Pass is caught. And running down the sideline, finally brought down. Number 6, Bryce Hurley, the junior, on a wide receiver screen, gets a big gain. First down, Eagles.
And more often than not, when you set that screen up, you know you got a couple blockers out in front of you. You typically have one man to beat, and right here, Bryce Hurley beats his man. Just doesn't take a great line to the football, does Ronnie Hill Jr. And Hurley has loads of speed to get down that near sideline.
Eisenhower taking over at their own 40. Man in motion, Crum takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Kamari Childs, who's met right at the line. They're going to say he gained a yard on that carry. Second down and 9 coming up.
And boy, did he earn that 1 yard. Look at the hit put on in the hole, just levels him by Will Olds.
Clock is ticking. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Eisenhower has a 3-0 lead early on. Crum takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to throw. He'll throw it. Pass is caught. Complete down the right sideline. That is number 7, Connor Temple. First down, Eagles.
Crum moves the pocket a bit to his right, able to connect with one of his favorite targets this year. You talk about Connor Temple and Hayden Bills, two of the top receivers in the MAC Red this season.
Ball now at the 44-yard line of Stevenson. Crum takes a snap, looking to throw again. Pass is caught. That is Hayden Bills, and he's running down the sideline. The 20, pushed out at about the 10-yard line. Another big passing gain up for the Eagles. First down, Eagles.
Last throw was to Temple, this time to Bills, right on cue. Showing off why they're two of the top receivers in this conference. And again, last time it was Hurley. They run it this time to Bills, and you typically, as I mentioned, have just that one man to beat. Eisenhower showing off their athletes on the outside that they have around Preston Crum.
That's going to do it for the first quarter. After one, the Eisenhower Eagles 3, the Stevenson Titans 0. But the Eagles are driving down this field. Again, thank you for joining us wherever you are watching this in the Shelby area, all around the world. My name's Chris Wright, alongside Stephen MacDonald. And Stephen, both these teams came off of a loss. 2 losses in a row for Stevenson. Both these teams have something to prove here in the MAC Red tonight.
Yeah, Stevenson still looking for that first win in conference play, something that I spoke about in pregame. And it's an absolute battle week in and week out in the MAC Red division. It looks like we have another excellent game on hand between two teams that are very familiar with each other. 51 all-time meetings make it 52 with our contest here tonight. First meeting between these two schools came all the way back in 1972 as Eisenhower took that one 18-0.
It is homecoming night here for Eisenhower at Swinehart Field. Packed house. We're ready for quarter number 2. Crum takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and met in the backfield. That was Bryce Hurley. Loss of 2 on the carry.
One thing I would say about that first quarter, Chris, Eisenhower did well. I thought winning at the line of scrimmage, something that they struggled with a week ago against Romeo, really got back to winning that battle up front in that first quarter. But on that particular run, Stevenson looked up to the task.
Second down and 12 coming up. Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Pass is complete. Running down the hash marks there, past the 10 down to the 6. Connor Temple on the reception. Third down coming up. Third down and 5.
And Bryce Hurley, you should be able to see it from this replay angle. Hurley with an excellent block on the edge. Temple just had to go right through him, try to get those couple extra yards.
Another third down, close to the end zone here. Third down and 4 is what they're going to call it. Eisenhower can get a first down. Man in motion, fakes the handoff up to Charles. Up the middle for an Eisenhower touchdown. Bobby Stalegrave, on the carry. Able to run that ball up the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah, just motion Hurley across. And then the handoff goes up the middle. Titans don't know how to respond defensively. Extra point is up and good.
Just over about 90 seconds into the second quarter, Eisenhower is able to take a 10-point lead.
Yeah, well-executed touchdown run by the Eagles offense. Used that motion coming across, and then the excellent blocking up front really opened things up for Stalegrave to hit that hole, and you saw it. He gets to about the goal line before a defender even contacts him. Looks like Hill Jr., the deep man for the Titans, looking to respond. And they have been able to move the football on Eisenhower, but when they've needed to, the Eagles defense really pinning their ears back and getting into the backfield and making life difficult. The interception, of course, doesn't hurt either.
Federico with the kickoff. And that will land in the end zone for another touchback. Federico's been able to get those touchbacks today, kicking out of his mind. Hit a 30-yard field goal, first points of the game. The Titans are going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Again, it is homecoming night, and it is a packed house here at Swinehart. Even the opposing benches are packed to the gills. They even had to bring in the auxiliary benches along the track. So everyone having a good time. Great to see all the alumni back at Swinehart Field again.
And I think if you're Stevenson, it's simple. You just keep doing what you've been doing to this point.
Knight hands it off, running up the middle. He's able to get about a yard on that carry to bring up second down and 9.
Because they were able to move the football on their last possession. Just a killer of an interception by Knight. So we'll see what they can do on this possession, trailing by a couple scores. Also important to note that Stevenson got the opening kickoff.
Knight rolling out to his right, looking to throw. Pass is dropped. Intended for number 20, Lucas Timbuck. Brings up third down and 9.
Excellent throw on the run, just a touch behind the receiver, but that's one that I'm sure he'll tell you he has to come up with that football. Especially looked like he had first down yardage if he had caught it.
Knight's got 2 receivers left, one to his right. He's going to roll right, looking to throw again. Pass is complete. They're going to say it is a catch. Ahmed Alawasi on the reception.
Excellent job just going up. Has the defender, Sammy Agnello, all over his back, but able to concentrate on the football and brings it down.
Ball was at the 39-yard line, first and 10. Ball is handed off up the middle. That's Alex Delory getting down to about the 43-yard line.
And this is where I think Stevenson has to live in this game. If you can get 3-4 yards of carry, which you're getting right now with Delory, and then you can hit a couple shots down the field with Knight, I think they'll be okay in this game.
Second down and 6. Knight takes a snap, hand it off to Delory again. Running right up the middle and is able to break a few tackles, keep the legs churning all the way down to the 48. Another first down for the Titans.
Looks like they gave him 3 on that last run. Gets about, looks like 8 or 9 on this run. Again, as you said, Chris, just running through. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5 Eagles on him by the time he finally goes down in Eisenhower territory. Great run by number 5 in white.
Knight has two running backs with him. Fakes the handoff to both of them. They're looking to throw deep. He's got Hill and just overthrows him. A lot of pushing back and forth there between Hill and I believe that was that was Bryce Hurley on that.
I like the play fake, some misdirection. I thought Knight did well, standing in the pocket. Throws a beautiful deep ball, just like to see him complete one at some point. Had the interception on their last drive and then a misconnection with Hill on that one.
Empty backfield for Knight, throws it to the right and gets taken down. Pass is caught by Ahmed Alawasi.
Good throw, far side of the field. That's a tough throw to make. You're throwing it across the field like that. Had a couple Eagles out there in coverage. Able to drop the receiver before he really had anywhere to go.
3rd down and 4 for the Titans. Knight takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. And met right at the line of scrimmage. Can't break the tackle this time. Delory with the carry. Unable to get any room there. It's 4th down and 5.
Excellent pursuit on the run by the Eagles defense. You'll see runs into a blocker there. Caused by Cody Raymond, just moves his man right into the lap of Delory. Raymond wasn't the one to bring down the runner, but does his job in disrupting the run.
Another empty backfield for Knight. 4th down and 5 for the Titans. Puts a man in motion. Looks like they're going to try to change the play now. And we will get a timeout.
Timeout. White.
Titans taking their first timeout. Steven, this has got to be the Titans' best drive here. They've been able to move this ball down the field. A couple big plays, but then they've missed on a couple big throws.
Yeah, I mean, these last 2 possessions, really, they've done a good job of moving the ball, getting 4 or 5, really 6 yards, it seems like, per play. So their problem isn't their ability to move the ball down the field. Now they have to be able to capitalize when they have those opportunities. You talk about having the interception down at the Eisenhower. It looked like it was about the 4-yard line their last drive that was a killer, and that led to points for Eisenhower. This drive, they had to throw to Hill on this near sideline that was about 10 yards past him downfield. So I think if they can just hit 1 or 2 plays down the field, they can get themselves back in this football game.
4th down and 5 for the Titans. 6:55 to go here in this first half. Knight is going to go empty again. Man goes in motion. He'll take the snap. Looking to throw. Knight now looking to scramble, and he falls on the ground, and they're going to say his knee hit the ground right to the line of scrimmage. And it is a turnover on downs.
And one thing I'll say to the flip side of what I was just talking about with Stevenson, the flip side to that is Eisenhower, when they've had chances to stifle some of those bigger plays by Stevenson, as we see on this 4th and 5 attempt, they've made the plays when they're there. And that's something that, when talking about Stevenson, if they want to stick in this football game down 10 right now, they have to be able to hit some of those plays when they're there.
6:50 to go here in the second quarter. Eisenhower's going to take over at their own 44-yard line. Crum has 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the top of your screen. Crum takes the snap, looking to throw. Pass is caught over the middle. Completes to number 1, and he's still on feet.
Still moving.
Brandon Kedrow. They finally blow the whistle at the Stevenson 48-yard line.
Yeah, looks like they gave it to him where he initially got stopped at, but then you saw he'll just keep those feet moving forward, drags a couple white jerseys with him, but they do give it to him where that initial forward progress was stopped at the 47.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Eagles.
And I like the way that they've established Preston Crum in this game. Never felt like a week ago he had a chance to really settle into the game. I think he's settled in very well here tonight.
Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He's going to get into the grasp. Pass is incomplete. They're going to say there was a man in the area.
Yeah, Evan Watson just shoots off the edge. Looked like Burnside, you have to chip that guy coming off the edge. You have to do something to try and get in his way, disrupt that rush. Just runs right by him and gets in the face of Preston Crum.
3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Crum hands it off to Charles. Charles running up the left side, trying to get around the corner, but he's brought down just a yard short, and they are going to throw the flag.
Good job, Preston Crum. Looked like that snap bobbled just a little bit, but able to get it down to Kamari Charles. And then Charles just a foot race to the far sideline.
Personal foul, horse collar, White. First down.
It's going to be a first down for the Eagles after they were stopped on 4th down. 15-yard penalty. Now, we saw one earlier that they did not call. Good to see that they made up for that one. Crum now takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got pressure, rolling out. Pass is caught by Charles, and he's met big hit at the 29-yard line. Good for Charles to pop back up, but that was a vicious hit.
See another look at that play. Pressure right away off the edge from Malachi Kraft. Maybe some confusion by the Eagles offensive line that time. Looked like about 5 guys blocking only 2 Titans players. Not sure what the miscommunication was that time.
Charles takes the handoff, and he's immediately met in the backfield. That's number 14, Evan Watson, the senior.
Watson, a couple big plays defensively on this drive for Stevenson.
Stevenson has now, I would say, consistently been able to get some pressure here. A couple plays on this drive. Eagles have the ball at the 31-yard line, 3rd down and 10.
Probably 2-down territory here.
Crum looking to throw, looking, pass over the middle, pass caught, touchdown Eagles! Hayden Bills over the middle, a beautiful throw and catch. It's a touchdown, Eagles.
And Coach Youngblood understood the assignment, just as I said before that play. Probably 4-down territory is what I meant to say. But instead, he just says, we're going to go for it all right here. And he connects for the touchdown pass. Beautiful ball over the middle. Of course, Bills got a step or two on his defensive back. But the Eagles were not thinking 4-down territory.
Rodrigo kicks it, and it is good. With 4:17 left here in the 2nd quarter, the Eagles take a 17-0 lead.
Excellent ball right on the hands of Hayden Bills.
And Bills was able to get just a step on his defender, Bryce Briscoe.
Now, if you're Stevenson, you really have to be looking at this clock now. 4:17 to go in the half. You're going to get the football here, but Eisenhower gets it to start the second half, so you need points on this drive to really keep yourself in this football game right now, especially the way that this offense for Eisenhower is operating and the confidence that you're seeing Preston Crum build as this game goes along.
When we had Eisenhower here at Swinehart a couple weeks ago, we talked a lot about that high-powered offense. Definitely something that they were missing last Friday against Romeo. But it's on display again here tonight. Federico kicks it. Kickoff is caught at the 2. And he's taken down at about the 13-yard line. And that's where Stevenson's going to take over.
Eagles making that kick returnable this time, didn't put it into the end zone, said, you know what, we don't want to just give you the 20-yard line. We'll give you the 15-yard line instead. Yeah, very critical possession for this Stevenson offense.
1st and 10 for the Titans at the 13-yard line. Knight takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, running up the middle, and he's able to get down to the 21-yard line. That's number 5, Alex DeLory. Clock is ticking. Under 4 minutes to go. Knight got 2 receivers to his left. He'll take the snap. Hand it off again to DeLory, running up the middle. Another big chunk of yards there for the Titans. And that goes down to the 34-yard line for another first down.
Back-to-back solid runs from DeLory, does so well. You see, just finds that opening on the left side of the line. Wonder when we'll see Stevenson take a shot again.
Knight looking to throw off the hands. Al-Hawadi. Awazi, excuse me.
Bit of a dangerous throw that time. Looked like Agnello really read that screen well, was coming flying downhill to the football.
Clock is stopped, 3:23 to go. Stevenson still with 2 timeouts that they can play with. Ike also has 2 timeouts. Eisenhower showing pressure, but DeLory runs up the middle. He'll get a gain of 4, they'll say. Brings up 3rd down.
And an interesting 3rd down at that, Chris. Still 3 minutes to go in the half. As you mentioned, Eisenhower does have those couple timeouts to use. So if they can get this football back, they should have plenty of time if they want to go try to score before the half.
Knight takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right. Looking to throw. Looking. Pass is caught. And out of bounds. Lucas Timbuck. First down, Titans.
Had a drop earlier this half. This time, Timbuck able to corral that football, get a big first down for this Stevenson offense. And you see again, Eisenhower bringing pressure. Able to pick it up as Knight rolled to his right.
2:50 to go. Knight takes the snap. He's going to look to throw down the right side and overthrown over the head of his intended target.
Yeah, I love the arm of Andrew Knight. Just puts a little too much on these throws. He has these receivers, but just puts a little too much gas on it. You'll see, does well, just lets this ball go.
.244 now, clock is stopped. 2nd down and 10. Knight has 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. He'll hand this ball off. DeLory gets a gain of about 3, excuse me. Brings up another 3rd down, and that clock is rolling.
Not much running room that time. Eagles showed 3 down linemen. They brought a 4th guy off the edge. Just did well plugging up any running room that Stevenson might have had. Looks like we'll get a timeout called by the Eisenhower defense.
Blue.
Looks like we had a late substitution. Chris Smith didn't want to be called for too many men on the field. 2:16 left here in this second quarter. Eisenhower with a 17-0 lead. And Steven here, with Stevenson at the 49-yard line. Third down coming up, third down and 8. Are you going to play in two-down territory?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think at this point, you can't afford to give Eisenhower the football back. They still have one timeout to play with. We know they can take shots down the field in the passing game. I feel like that's just a lot of time for them to be able to move the football downfield and at the very least get a field goal out of it possibly with Federigo. So yeah, I think this has to be two-down territory right now. Keep the football in your hands and try to go put points on the board.
Knight takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, run it himself. Trying to get around, can't get past the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down. A host of Eagles there led by number 26, Jonah Trzaskowski.
And I think that's why they go with this play call out of the timeout called by Eisenhower, figuring if you can just get maybe 3-4 yards on that play, makes it a much easier fourth down. But now it looks like because they got nothing on the run by Knight, they'll line up to punt.
Eisenhower elects to let the clock run. We have a minute 30 and counting left in this second quarter. And Stevenson's going to call a timeout. 1:17 to go.
Timeout. White.
That'll leave
it
them.
Looked like they were really looking to snap that football as Caden Bollinger, the punter, was looking over to his sideline the entire time as they had Connor Temple back deep to receive. Yeah, I think going back to that third down run call for Knight, if they had just gotten maybe 3-4 yards on that run, you would have seen the Titans go for it there at about fourth and call it a long 4. But because they got nothing, that's why they'll line up to punt this football away. And still, 1:17 and one timeout. Eisenhower with a chance maybe to take a couple shots if they want to.
And high school didn't change the rules like college did this year. You still get a clock stoppage after a first down. Punt is away. It'll land at about the 32-yard line and roll to a stop. Fair to say the 27. A minute 5 for the Eagles, starting at their own 27-yard line. We've seen Crum make some great passes down the field. See if they decide to go that route here or just go into the locker room with a 17-0 lead.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, considering they get the ball to start the second half. Wouldn't be surprised to see them hand it off maybe 2-3 times and just go to the locker room. But we also know Joe Youngblood likes to be aggressive and take shots when he wants to, so we'll see what he decides to do.
Charles gets the handoff, running up the middle, taken down after a 2-yard gain. Down to the 30. Clock will continue to roll.
And it looks like they will elect to just hand the ball off a few times and take us to the half. But we have seen here from Swinehart Field a time or two, Coach Youngblood and Coach Smith like taking those shots late in the half. Just tonight won't be one of those nights. Should have to snap it just one more time.
And he will and take a knee. And that is how we are going to go into the locker room here at half, as the Eagles trying to pump up this capacity crowd here at Swinehart Field. A huge first half from the offense. Some great field position, leading to a 17-0 lead. That'll bring us to halftime. We'll be back after these messages.
The pizza pie!
We would like to thank Esplendido Mexican Cuisine for their 20-year sponsorship of both Utica and Eisenhower football coverage. It's that great taste that helps keep a great Shelby Township tradition going.
We are back here live at Swinehart Field. Homecoming night for Eisenhower. We just got done with the halftime facilities. Let's take a look at some first half highlights here. Eisenhower with a 17-0 lead. Just a fantastic play on both sides of the ball for Eisenhower. As you see a big interception there within the 5-yard line. But Steven, just a fantastic game all around.
Yeah, so far, pretty well played first half from Eisenhower. Didn't make too many mistakes. On the flip side, we saw just a moment ago that interception thrown by Andrew Knight. And I think, and I said it back in the first half, Chris, they can continue taking shots down the field. I think Knight has an excellent arm, and you have the ability to show that off at times when it's been there. He just has to rein it in a little bit. He's had guys down the field just overthrowing a couple of those receivers. I think if they connect on some of those deeper throws, this is definitely a different looking game than what we've had so far. But again, all credit to Eisenhower. They've executed at a high level here tonight, and especially coming off a game a week ago where you couldn't necessarily say that, and that's something that we talked pregame with Coach Smith about. A very nice bounce back first half for this Eagles team. Now they have to have it carry over to the second half as well.
For Stevenson, probably their best player, Alex DeLory, the senior running back, able to get good yardage, probably 5 or 6 yards of carry. Just able to find the hole all game long. On the Eisenhower side, it's got to be Preston Crum. He's been making big plays, big throws down the field, able to find his receivers open. It's been a good game.
And it sounds like as we get set for second half kickoff, they announced a few of the out-of-town scores from around the MAC Red. Here's one going across to the Utica Chieftains side of things, 30-0 Utica, as they're just about set to kick off the second half in their game against Lance Cruz. We'll have the Chieftains back home here at Swinehart Field next weekend as they take on Roseville. So talk about bounce back performances. Utica with a big bounce back this weekend, had a couple rough games their last 2 weeks.
Eisenhower is going to receive the second half kickoff.
And just like that, student section right below us, taking up about half the population underneath us, just all rising to their feet at once.
Looks like we're going to get a delay here. Coach Smith looking for some explanation.
Yeah, just wants to know what the holdup is. Wants to get things going on this second half.
And the kick is away, and the second half has started. Taking it, catching it in the end zone was Bryce Hurley.
And as the Eisenhower offense hits the field, we'd like to give a shout out to Esplendido's Mexican Cuisine. You can give them a call, 586-739-1070. Always enjoy their food pregame as they cater to our entire crew here on Shelby TV. Big shout out to our crew as well, making us look and sound good each and every Friday night.
Eisenhower takes over at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Crum takes the snap. He'll fake the end around, throwing this ball deep. Pass is incomplete.
A late flag coming in. Some contact as Bills went up to try and make this grab. Felt like the ball was a little bit underthrown. Defensive back just trying to play catch up.
I think what they're going to look at is that he did not turn his head to locate the ball. Look at the replay here.
Little hidden ball
We
trick
have
almost.
defensive pass interference. First down.
That was Bryce Briscoe with the penalty, 15-yard penalty. And the Eagles take over now at their own 35-yard line.
Crum did really well hiding that football until he was ready to let it go.
He'll hand the ball off. Kamari Charles trying to turn it upfield, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain and a first down.
Charles, so shifty, so athletic. Just decides where he wants to run this ball, and then it's just a foot race to see who can get there first. Really does well finding his angles in the running space.
Crum now looking to pass. He'll throw it. Pass is caught off the shoe tops. Hayden Bills. The gain of 6, they're going to call it. Down to the Stevenson 49-yard line.
Bills, a lengthy receiver, uses all of his reach to go down and grab that ball right about his knees. It looks like those gloves he has on are working for him tonight.
Second down and 4 now for the Eagles. Crum rolling left, looking to throw. He's going to throw this ball to the sideline, and it'll be incomplete, out of bounds.
They decide to flip the field. Came to Bills on the short side last time. This time they go the other way to the far sideline looking for Bills. And yeah, just doesn't get that foot down in bounds. Heck of a catch though by number 12. Just couldn't get that important foot down.
Third down and 4. Eisenhower with their first drive of the second half. He'll take the snap, fumble. And they're going to say Kamari Charles landed on it. Just a little mishap on the handoff there. And they're going to punt this ball away.
Back in the first half, had a similar play trying to get that ball down to Kamari Charles. Did well that time previously did Crum to get the ball down. This time, no such luck. And that's one where maybe Crum, rather than trying to get that ball down, just takes it and tries to run it himself, at least get something on the play, rather than risking a fumble.
Fedrigo looking. Punt is blocked. Picked up at the 30. And they're going to say his knee was down at the 28-yard line. That is a big start for the Titans.
Big time block coming off the edge. And how about that? Bollinger, the punter for Stevenson, picks up the block. Can't say I've seen that too many times.
Eisenhower leads 17-0, but now Stevenson threatening here just outside the red zone.
Eisenhower has had a couple short fields in this game going back to the first half of play. Now Stevenson with their chance at a very short field. And this is a big momentum shifter for the Titans. They get the block punt. Now can they go down and put points on the board?
Play game, White. First down.
And they're going to start behind the sticks right away. 5 yards for a delay of game. Delory fumbled the ball. And Eisenhower picks it up. First down. Just like Eisenhower just a few plays ago. They fumble the handoff. Devin Steele, the senior for Eisenhower, gets the fumble recovery. Turnover.
The fantastic runner, Delory, just never really seemed like he had a handle on that football as he hit the hole, and he had a hole if he was able to hold on to the football. But a disastrous turn of events for the Stevenson Titans.
Crum takes the snap, hands it off to Charles, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. The second turnover for the Titans. A lot of problems just right off the start. They had the delay of game. They had all. Let's take a look at this replay one more time. A bumbled handoff there.
Yeah, not sure what happened. It hits him right in the stomach. He got the ball down where it needed to be, just not sure why Delory didn't hold on to the football there.
Crum now takes the snap, looking to throw. He's going to roll out, and he'll just throw this ball out of bounds, bringing up a third down.
And even going back, Chris, to that delay of game, they took a lot of time on their sideline, just kind of getting organized, getting that play in.
It's going to bring up third down and 11.
And you would think that after that blocked punt, they'd want to get their offense out on the field, make sure that they have everybody on the same page, and maybe try to take a shot at the end zone, try to really get some momentum going their way. Just that delay of game penalty, an absolute killer.
Crum takes the snap, looking to throw. A lot of pressure from the Titans. Pass is caught. First down. What a catch. One-handed. Bryce Hurley moving the chains. First down, Eisenhower.
Titans have a free rusher come off the edge. Almost gets there. Crum looking the other way. Felt the pressure coming from the backside. Gets rid of that football. And how about the catch by Hurley with the one hand. Knocks it down to himself, and a big first down on 3rd and 11.
Crum takes the snap, looking to throw again. Pass is caught. That's Kedro running down the hashes. And he's finally brought down after another big gain at the 34-yard line. Another first down for the Eagles.
Coach Smith said it pregame, Preston Crum able to let go of his performance a week ago, just focused on the right here and now. He has shown up in a big way for this Eisenhower football team tonight as the senior quarterback leading this team.
Man in motion, that's Hurley. He'll hand it off. Running right up the middle. That's Salegrave. Looks like he may have hurt his knee a little bit. He got down to the 26-yard line. Let's hope he's able to walk this one off.
Yeah, looks like just got twisted up as he was brought down to the ground, gets kind of rolled over. As you take one more look at it, see he gets pulled right there and just gets his leg caught up underneath him. Eisenhower offense driving down the field after getting that fumble recovery.
Didn't look as bad as Nick Chubb's injury. Did you see that on Monday Night Football?
I did not actually, but obviously seeing the reaction afterwards on social media didn't seem like it was a very good sight to see, I guess you would say.
Well, as we said, it is homecoming. You saw there, perhaps a future member of the Eisenhower football team. Salegrave able to get up, walk off under his own power. He's got a little bit of a limp, but let's hope that we see him back out on the field soon. Second down and 2. 8.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Puts a man in motion, fakes the handoff. Charles gets the handoff up the middle to the 15, and he's stopped right at about the 14-yard line. Another big gain from this Eagle offense. First and 10 from the 14-yard line. Brown puts a man in motion again. He'll hand it off to Charles again. Identical play there. I believe that was the same play 3 times now.
Able to just stretch that ball forward. Looks like just got back to the line of scrimmage there.
That hole closed up quick for Charles.
Yeah, Stevenson not fooled on it for the third time. Eisenhower scored back in the first half on a similar play design to that.
Ball at the 14-yard line, second down and 10. Crum now looking to throw, looking for the corner of the end zone. Pass is tipped and incomplete. Intended for Connor Temple. Great defense there from Bryce Briscoe of the Titans. Third down.
Same action as what we've seen the last couple plays. This time they throw the ball. Crum just trying to get it up top for his lengthy receiver, Temple. But a nice job by Briscoe getting up and getting a hand on that football at the last second. As they attend to Stallgrave on the sideline.
Here we go, third down and 10. Crum takes a snap, looking to throw. Pressure from the Titans, and just out in front. Pass intended for Hayden Bills. That brings up fourth down and 10.
And that's one Crum is going to want back as you take another look at the replay. He's flushed out to his right. but just not able to get the ball there as Bills had a step. If he makes that catch, he's easily stepping into the end zone.
Rocco Fedrigo now looking to make this a 20-point game.
About a 31-yarder looks like.
Kick is up, and it is good. A 31-yard field goal to match his 30-yard field goal earlier tonight. The Eagles are able to extend their lead. It is now 20-0.
Beautiful kick, plenty of distance from Fedrigo.
Again, Stahlgrave now is doing sprints out on the sideline. Hopefully that's a good sign to see him back soon.
Yeah, it was good to see him after that play able to walk off under his own power. Looks to be able to probably make his way back in at some point.
Thank you for joining us wherever you are around the Shelby, Utica area, or anywhere around the world on YouTube.com and Shelby TV. My name's Chris Wright, alongside my broadcast partner, Stephen MacDonald. Here at Swinehart Field, it is still a mild 68 degrees. Starting to get a little sweaty up here in the booth. I don't know how the student section is handling it. It's a blackout here on homecoming night.
Yeah, we were down there about an hour or so before kickoff here from Swinehart Field, trying to get our pregame show in, and it was definitely pretty hot down there on the field, and also really sunny too.
But we're not looking forward to cold weather yet. We're not. Fall means winter. Titans taking over at their own 20, 1st and 10. Knight's got Delory in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. He'll throw, pass is caught, and taken down at about the 25-yard line. That's number 6, Ty Jenkins, the senior. Gonna bring up 2nd down.
And as much as I talked about beginning of our game, getting Preston Crum going, give him some nice, easy throws underneath, really establishing that ability to throw down the field. I think they have to do the same thing with Knight here in this second half. Give him some easy throws underneath, get his confidence going a little bit, then try to take some of those shots down the field.
Knight takes the snap. A little pressure from the Eagles, but he's going to break it running down the field, and he will slide at the 38-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for the Titans.
And that helps too. Knight's ability to take off and run as well, extend some of these plays. Has to trust in his legs a little bit more, I think.
And one thing to note for the quarterback, Andrew Knight, he is a sophomore. He's still got 2 more years after this to develop a little bit more touch. We've seen a powerful arm tonight. We've seen his running ability. Handoff up the middle, gets about 4 yards on the carry, 5 yards. But we've seen Knight with power in his arm, great vision down the field to take off and run. As he gets older, maybe he can develop a little bit finer tune those skills.
Absolutely. I mean, you can talk about that on the other side with Preston Crum. I've been watching his game since he was a freshman, and seeing the way that he's developed over these last couple of years has been special.
Flea flicker back to Knight. He's going to throw it down the field. Pass is wide, intended for Ronnie Hill Jr.
Good coverage out there from Braylon Burnside.
Handed off to DeLorean. That was the flea flicker.
But yeah, look where he is when he makes that throw. The far hash, he comes all the way to the near sideline and actually played a pretty nice ball. The receiver just doesn't come back to the football in time.
Knight takes the snap. It's 3rd down. A little bit of pressure. We're going to get a flag on this play. Pass is caught and brought down at the 49-yard line, but let's see what this flag is. That'll be a holding call against the Titans, 10 yards. That'll be their 6th penalty of the game.
Knight does well to extend the play. Of course, the holding happened behind him. But yeah, as you said, Chris, it'll be fun to watch how he develops over these next couple of years of his high school career.
Holding, White, 10-yard penalty.
Because I do think there's a lot to like with Andrew Knight, just his pure arm talent, his athleticism, his agility, all on display here tonight. And as you said, just have to find a way as he develops to kind of rein that in a bit.
Knight, empty backfield, takes the snap, looking to throw, and he's going to get brought down from behind. A big sack from Lorenzo Mocheri brings up 4th down for the Titans.
Yeah, Devin Steele and Lorenzo Mocheri, the 2 edge rushers, as they showed 3 guys up at the front, just both doing well, collapsing that pocket around Knight, and they both get home for the sack.
Fourth down and 15. And the Titans are going to punt. Fair catch signal. And that will be the 36-yard line for the Eagles. Fair catch from Connor Temple. 4:36 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Eagles taking over on offense with a 20-0 lead.
And Chris, before our game earlier this afternoon, I was thinking to myself how good this defensive front for Eisenhower has been this year. You talk about guys like Cody Raymond, Lorenzo Mocheri, a guy like Devin Steele gets in on that last stop. We haven't seen Giovanni Rowe here this season, one of their interior defensive linemen. How much better could that front be with him in the lineup?
Crum puts a man in motion. He'll hand the ball off. This is Kamari Charles up the middle, making a cut at the 39 and going all the way down to the 42-yard line. Gain of about 7. It's almost a triple option play from the Eagles there, where he can either hand off on the man in motion or hand it off to Charles or throw the ball. So a lot of options here for the Eagles.
Absolutely. We've seen them already in this game. We've seen them go to all 3 options. On their previous possession, they tried to throw it to the end zone off that play fake and just got broken up by Briscoe at the last second. So yeah, we've seen all 3 of those options be deployed by this Eisenhower offense.
Crum takes the snap. On the end around, that's Hayden Bills. A big spin move at the 50, and he's finally pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line. They're going to say the 47-yard line of Stevenson.
Eagles love throwing wrinkles in. This time they fake that initial handoff, go to the end around. Definitely forces opposing defenses to stay honest, as you can't really cheat one way or the other, because Eisenhower can do things like that and beat you around the edge.
It's another 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Crum takes the snap, looking to throw. He'll throw a floater for no one. Kind of in the vicinity of Bryce Hurley, but almost intercepted.
Yeah, moving to his left, doesn't get what he wants on this throw. Looked like he was hit as he let it go. As you see, just got it off, but yeah, doesn't get what he wanted on this throw, and lucky it doesn't get intercepted.
I think Hurley was too focused on defending the ball. I think he might have had a chance to catch it.
Yeah, may have had a chance to break back a little bit for the ball, but like you said, Chris, probably at that point just thinking, make sure it hits the ground safely.
Crum now takes the snap, overthrows Hurley.
Take one more look, trying to go far side. Couple Eagles receivers, looks like they ran the same route. Just kind of talking it over there after the fact, making sure they understood where they were supposed to be on that play.
Crum now has Charles in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the left. We're going to get a flag here. False start.
False start, blue.
That'll make this 3rd down a little bit harder. 3rd down and 15. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver right. Crum looking to throw. He's going to throw this ball deep and just leads him too far. His intended receiver, Connor Temple.
Graham James, excellent defense on Temple. Just utilizing that sideline, rides him out on the near side.
Eagles lining up to punt. We have another penalty flag.
False start, blue. 4th down.
And another false start called against the Eagles.
Eagles a pretty clean game here tonight. Just a couple penalties to speak of. Really, their only blemish on this game was the blocked punt. Able to get this one away fairly well.
Ball will land at the 35 and roll down to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Titans will take over. .244 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Eagles with a 20-0 lead here. Mac red action.
And I'd like to see on this drive, see them kind of continue what they did on their last drive.
Knight looking to throw. Ball is tipped at the line and just falls incomplete.
As they tried going underneath with a pass from Knight that time. Had some success with that on their last drive, but just gets knocked down right at the line. You see Eisenhower looked like brought 5 that time.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. Knight takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. And brought down right at about the line of scrimmage. That was Ahmed Alawasi.
Just trying to get side to side. Eagles defense too good for that. They do well playing sideline to sideline, especially their linebackers, led by Cody Raymond. Raymond, a guy that can play in the middle of your defense, can play coming off the edge as well. Looks like he'll line up on the outside this time.
3rd down and 11. Knight looking to throw down the sideline. Pass is caught. Big play, Ronnie Hill Jr. Looked like a jump ball between him and Bryce Hurley, but Hill is able to get that for a first down.
And that's one they had to have. They've had opportunities deep down the field in this game. Knight threw a pick back in the first half on a deep ball. This is one they had to have. Give him a little bit of confidence throwing that ball down the field.
Knight rolling out to his right, looking to throw, looking downfield. And he'll just throw this one out of bounds. Looking back at that last big completion to Hill, I think Hurley might be upset with himself. He really decided to go for the interception rather than just try to play the ball and knock it away.
And Hill used all of his frame to kind of box him out and make sure he went up and got that football.
The incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10. A minute 38 to go here in this third quarter. Three receivers to the right side of the formation, one at the bottom of your screen. That's Ronnie Hill Jr. He'll take the snap, hand it off the middle. That's DeLory, and he's finally brought down at about the 26-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Good run by DeLory. Tried to go up the middle. Didn't see anything there. Kept his feet moving. Found some space around the outside.
Knight takes the snap, hands it off again to DeLory. Running the left side, is able to get that 1 yard that he needed. And that'll move the chains for another first down for the Titans.
You know, Andrew Knight's sitting here thinking, can I have DeLory for one more year, the senior running back and the sophomore quarterback. An excellent duo in the backfield.
Clock is ticking. We're under a minute to go here in the third. Knight takes the snap. He'll hand it off. This time it was Jaden Alston, the sophomore. Gain of about 3.
We saw the senior running back DeLory on the previous run, now possibly the future backfield for the Titans with Knight and Jaden Alston.
Knight takes the snap, he's gonna roll out to his right, looking to throw. He'll pass this one for the end zone, wide open, touchdown Titans. Alossi catches that, just got a step.
And he's down in the end zone after making that grab.
6 points.
But an excellent play by Knight going out to his right. You'll see it on the replay here. Tough assignment for Alston as that extra blocker from that running back position. Had about 3 or 4 Eagles players right in him. And he has had to pick one of them up and try to slow them down as they attend to Alawasi. But again, an excellent throw down the field by Andrew Knight. Take one more look as he goes out to his right.
And once again, football fans, we had a lost and found item right near the beginning of the game.
Sammy Agnello on the coverage. Alawasi was able to get just one extra step, beat him into the end zone. Seems to be up and moving off under his own power. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. That was a big diving catch for him in the end zone.
50-50 ticket for $500, so get your tickets out.
Kelvicella for the extra point. And it is good.
And the point after.
The first points are on the board for the Titans. Excuse me, that was Powell Serwick on the extra point. First points are on the board for the Titans. It is now 20-7. Eisenhower still leads, but it's now down to a 13-point deficit.
And we pretty much just have time for the kickoff here in the third quarter. But now if you're Stevenson, you get a stop to start that fourth quarter, and you get the ball back. Now you feel like if you can go down and score on that next possession, you have to feel like you're right back in this football game, and you make that fourth quarter a little more interesting from Swinehart Field. On the flip side to that, this is also sort of that in-game scenario where we've seen Coach Smith and Coach Youngblood, where they've had the chance to put the game away in the fourth quarter like that. They've put their foot on the gas and made sure they did so.
This is a big drive here for both teams because, as you said, a big stop from Stevenson, you get that momentum back. Or for Eisenhower, you can put the dagger in this game. Kick is away. Caught at the 4-yard line. Trying to turn a corner. He breaks one tackle, but he is brought down. Bryce Hurley brought down about the 24-yard line, and that is where the Eagles will start the drive on the other side of the field. After 3 quarters, Eisenhower 20, the Stevenson Titans 7. A big fourth quarter coming up here.
52nd all-time meeting between these two teams, going all the way back to 1972. Eisenhower leading the all-time series 27-24.
And Eisenhower, I think if you're Eisenhower, not only are you trying to score, but kill as much clock as you can. Burn the clock, run it. Try to get first down, move this clock, get out of here with a win.
And when you have guys like Kamari Charles and Bryce Hurley running the football for you, you have the ability to run with some success behind this offensive line and chew up some of that clock like you were talking about. But also have the ability to make some underneath throws, some short throws in the middle of the field, just keep that clock moving.
First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Fourth quarter is underway. Crum takes a snap, hands it off up the middle, and he's able to get down to about the 27-yard line, gain of 6 for Kamari Charles.
And 50-50, folks, we have a winning ticket.
Nice conservative play call on first down.
And as we said, the clock will continue to roll here.
And with that winning ticket, we appreciate everybody that paid. Thank you very much. Eisenhower Athletic Booster Club.
Crum takes the snap, and he'll just throw that one away.
A lot of air under that ball to the near sideline. Big third down for both sides.
Clock is stopped at 11:13.
Yeah, if Stevenson can force a punt here, should be able to get some pretty solid field position.
Hand the ball off to Charles, grabbing at the jersey, and that'll be a big loss on third down.
Yeah, and that even helps out Stevenson's case a little bit more, losing 5 on that run all the way back to that original line of scrimmage at the 21-yard line. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Stevenson return man stands about his 50. Looks like he'll go back to about the 42-yard line.
Punt is away, caught at the 40-yard line. That's DeLory at the 50, and that's where he gets brought down. Excuse me, that's
6, Ty Jenkins.
Ty Jenkins.
But yeah, good return. Didn't need to hit the home run and go all the way to the end zone with it, but gets them to right about midfield. And that's an excellent way to start a drive for your sophomore quarterback, Andrew Knight.
Change of possession, 10:32 to go here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and this is where it becomes interesting, Chris, because as we've talked about, if you put this ball in the end zone on this drive, and especially if you can do it rather quickly, you could have 8-ish minutes left in a one-score game, and both teams still with all 3 timeouts.
Knight looking to throw. Over the middle, caught. Lucas Timbuk. A big 30-yard pass completion on first down, and they are in the red zone.
And that's having faith in your sophomore quarterback. Put the ball in his hands and just let it rip over the middle.
Knight looking to throw again. Over the middle, passes. Incomplete, off the fingertips. Bryce Hurley, excuse me, had his hands on it, just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, that time, Knight needs to recognize the coverage. Had 3 Eagles around his intended receiver. As you see the situation that we face in our ball game, the scoreboard here at Swinehart.
Knight passes, caught. That's Jenkins. Down to the 11-yard line, third down coming up.
Yeah, looks like they need about the 10-yard line. But again, starting with the ball at the 50-yard line has really been to their benefit. Took that shot on the very first play from scrimmage.
Knight takes the snap, hands it off. That's DeLory running up the middle to the 7-yard line, first down. Brings up first and goal.
Critical third down and short conversion. You give it to your senior running back and just let him plow forward for the first down. Wouldn't be surprised if we see them try to throw this ball into the end zone. See if they can find a matchup on the outside that they like. Eisenhower comfortable running man-to-man.
Knight looking to throw. Pass is caught. And touchdown. Reaching out, that was Ty Jenkins. Pass underneath. And all of a sudden, we have a brand new game here.
Excellent throw to the outside. Looks like a Eagles defensive lineman might have gotten a finger on that ball, possibly. In coverage was Sammy Agnello. And again, they just found their matchup they liked on the outside. And the excellent throw from Andrew Knight.
Kick is up. And it's good. 9:16 to go here in the fourth quarter. Titans all of a sudden making this a game. 14 unanswered points. It's 20-14.
Eisenhower a week ago on the other side of a 20-14 final as they look to hold on their home field tonight on homecoming weekend for them.
We are at standing room only here at Swinehart Field. Even the Stevenson crowd, the Stevenson student section celebrating there.
Student section underneath us, just taking a look down. Looks like it's thinned out a bit, but looks like they might have found some space around the stadium to kind of spread out a bit more. They've been packed in since about an hour, hour and a half before kickoff today.
Kick is away. And that will bounce into the end zone. And we will get a touchback. Eisenhower will start this drive from their own 20-yard line.
And it is interesting. I think we hear all the time in games like this, you hear about in the second half of games the adjustments that a team might have made at halftime. I don't necessarily think that Stevenson made any adjustments at halftime. I think it's just that they've better executed in this second half. I think they've really stuck to the game plan and what's worked, but they've just executed it a lot better in this second half, especially on the defensive side of the football.
Crum in the shotgun. He's got Kamari Charles in the backfield with him. Puts a man in motion. That's Hurley. He'll hand it off to Charles up the middle. And he'll just move those legs down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6 on the carry.
And speaking of sticking with what's working, they go right back to that play, which has been a staple for the Eisenhower offense here tonight.
We are under 9 minutes to go there. Eisenhower is very content to let this clock roll, play at their pace.
And you have to remember their last possession had it 3rd and 5 from right about this same field position. Ended up punting on 4th and 10 as they lost 5 yards.
Hurley in motion again. He'll take the snap. Up to Kamari Charles, and he stopped at the line. And they're going to say no gain on the carry.
Sticking with that old reliable. But again, that front 7 from Stevenson up to the task. I get it, you want to be conservative, try to run some of that clock, but I do think you have to at least open up the playbook a little bit, especially here on this 3rd and 4, try to pick up that first down. Right now, I think they're just making it a little too easy for this Stevenson defense.
This time he'll hand it off to Hurley. Running wide, and he gets pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets a first down. We got a flag on the play.
This looks to be going against Eisenhower as they back up all the way back to about the 10.
Holding, blue. Repeat, 3rd down.
They'll spot it at the 22.
That'll be 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Crum takes the snap, rolling out, looking to throw. He'll throw to the sideline, pass is caught. Hayden Bills still on his feet and finally out of bounds. He'll get to about the 38-yard line, 39-yard line. A huge first down reception from Hayden Bills.
Short roll for Crum. He's looking near side all the way, almost intercepted. Bills excellent focus and control on that football, and a big time 3rd down conversion.
Almost a safety valve for Preston Crum is Hayden Bills. Just a big body receiver, able to make the catch when you need him to.
That was Graham James in coverage on that last play.
Crum takes the snap, hands off to Kamari Charles up the middle. They'll get about a 7-yard gain on first down. Clock continues to run. We're closing in on 7 minutes to go.
Both teams still with 3 timeouts. Right now, Stevenson just hoping they can hold Eisenhower in the middle of the field.
If you're Eisenhower, you want about 30 more yards. You want to get into field goal range for Fedrigo, who has been nailing them all day long. Charles will take the handoff, keep his balance, stays up. He was grabbed by the face mask right there. He might have been grabbed twice.
Yeah, we've seen a couple times tonight these Stevenson tacklers just trying to grab onto anything they can to try and get these Eagles ball carriers down to the ground.
Take a look at this on replay here. First of all, Charles keeping his balance, staying up, unbelievable.
Yeah, that knee never goes down. You see a grab
We
right
have a
there.
personal foul, face mask, white. First down.
And that will add 15 yards to the end of the run. Steven, I mean, looking at my notes here, the penalty box is almost full on my sheet here. 7 penalties for Stevenson. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Crum takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Charles again, running up the middle. Breaking tackle, still on his feet. And finally brought down at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Titans doing everything they can to try and come back in this football game. Kamari Charles, the senior, says he wants a win on homecoming weekend. Running hard on this drive for the Eagles is Kamari Charles.
We are under 6 minutes to go. 1st and goal for the Eagles. Ball at the 10-yard line. And we will get a timeout called here by the Eagles. 5:41 to go here in this 4th quarter. Eagles holding on to a 6-point lead, 20-14.
And this is a good timeout by the Eagles. You're already in field goal range for Fedrigo. What you don't want here, and this is why they called the timeout, you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You want to calm everybody down. They've had some big plays on this drive. They've obviously got the crowd on their side, but you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what they're doing, so you don't have any penalties that back you up, possibly push you out of field goal range, or even worse, a turnover this deep into Stevenson territory. And we have seen a couple times they've had trouble getting that handoff down on some of these runs at times. So again, that's one of those things that you have to make sure you're getting those handoffs down.
1st and goal after the timeout. Crum takes the snap. He'll toss it to Hurley. Hurley trying to get the corner. He does. And he's down. Touchdown, Eagles! But there is a flag on the play. And they're going to call holding against the Eagles.
Holding, blue, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Trying to see it on the replay. I don't think I saw it. Taking a look from another angle here.
And Chris, that's exactly what I was talking about during that timeout. Can't take a penalty to back you up. Right now, this would be about a 35-ish yarder, I think.
He'll hand it off to Charles. Charles running up the left side, and he'll get brought down out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Brings up second down and goal. That's also one thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to get pushed out of bounds. Clock stops, 5:27 to go.
Second and goal from the 15.
So right now, this would be about a 30-yarder, and he's hit from 30 and 31 already, has Federico. So still in his range. He had plenty of leg on both those kicks as well.
Crum takes the snap, fakes it, gives it to Charles, running up the right side, and he'll get brought down.
Looks like they'll give him 2 on the run.
And I think that was an intentional run. I think they're trying to line up the middle of the field for Federico here.
Absolutely, just make that a more dead-on kick, as originally it was on that left hash. So now I wouldn't be surprised if they just hand this ball straight up the middle. But again, primary concern, no penalties, and just hold on to the football if you're Eisenhower.
Crum tosses it to Hurley. Just snatches onto the leg. That was Caden Bollinger.
Caden Bollinger, 7. Fourth down now for the Eagles.
Timeout. White.
Stevenson is going to use one of those 3 timeouts that they have left. 4:31 to go. Especially if the Eagles make this kick, turning it into a 2-possession game. You want to have as much time as you can get if you are the Titans. But if you're the Eagles right now, you just want to think clean. Just clean snap, clean hold, clean kick.
But another excellent game between these 2 teams. Again, 52nd all-time meeting between the 2.
This is going to be about a 32-yard kick for Federico. No good, wide right.
No good.
Unbelievable.
Eagles, no good. And so the Titans will take
Looks to be a shaky kick for him.
The hold was there, just pushed it a little bit to the right, didn't miss it by much. But yeah, it was set up well for Federico, and now a big sigh on the other side for the Stevenson Titans. They have 4:23 and 2 timeouts left, but it looks like they'll spot the ball down at their 20-yard line, so they do have a ways to go if they want to try to push this ball down the field.
Knight takes the snap, looking to throw. Pass is caught. That's Jenkins. And he gets brought down at about the 29-yard line. 30-yard line, they're going to give him the first down.
And I would bet defensively for Eisenhower, they're going to throw some pressure in the face of Andrew Knight, the sophomore, try to rattle him a little bit, maybe try to force a bad throw down the field.
Knight looking to throw left. Pass is caught. It's Aloasi.
So their first play, they brought pressure. It was picked up well. Knight delivers a good ball. This time they back off into coverage. And another excellent throw to the far side by Knight. Brings up 2nd down and 2.
Clock is rolling. 3:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Stevenson needs a touchdown and an extra point to win this game. Pass is bobbled and caught. Ronnie Hill Jr. First down for the Titans.
Yeah, no need to rush on this drive right now. Inside of 3.5 minutes, you do have those 2 timeouts to work with. That's tons of time, so they don't have to necessarily play with tempo right now. They want to try to score with as much, or as little, to no time left as they can.
First down and 10 for the Titans. Clock is rolling, closing in on 3 minutes to go. A lot of finger pointing.
Encroachment, blue, 5-yard penalty.
Just playing the snap counts were the Titans. 5 free yards. Can't do that. We're under 3 minutes. Here we go. 2nd down and 5. Pressure for Knight. Pass is caught by Jenkins. And he gets brought down after a gain of about 3 on that play. 2nd down coming up.
Good job by Jenkins coming back for the football. Knows he has that defender on his back hip, breaking back for the ball. He doesn't have time to just sit there and wait for the ball to come to him. He takes a couple steps back upfield and goes and gets this football.
Knight now rolling left. Looking to throw, looking downfield. He'll just get it away and throw it out of bounds. Brings up 3rd down. And the clock is stopped. 2:22 to go.
And I'll say this, Chris. Stevenson might not win this football game. Eisenhower very well has the ability to hang on in this one as you take one more look at that throw to the far side. But I've loved watching Andrew Knight in this 2nd half and just how much, even from the 1st half, he's matured in this game. He's settled into this game so well, and now he has a chance to lead his team down the field here late.
3rd down and 2. And Chris Smith will take a timeout.
Timeout, blue.
Yeah, defensive coordinator, Dave Brzezinski, walking out to his group and just kind of telling him, hey, settle down a little bit. They're definitely still showing pressure up front along that line of scrimmage, trying to give Andrew Knight some looks, just kind of telling his guys, hey, settle down, we're okay. They're trying to time their rushes a little bit too much, and that's what I think going back a couple plays ago caused them to go offside.
Coming out of the timeout, still 3rd down and 2. A little over 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Big play here from both sides. I think if you're the Eagles, you got to watch for the deep ball. On 4th down and 2 is a lot better. Knight takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. And Delory gets a yard and a half, and that will be a 1st down for the Titans.
Yeah, we've said it before with Eisenhower, we've said it before with Utica. When you have a running back like Delory that can go forward, get you 3-4 yards per carry, that 3rd down and 2 call becomes very simple.
Low snap, Knight's able to pick it up. Pass is incomplete. Bounces off the turf before Hill is able to grab it. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10, 2:01 to go in the 4th quarter.
Eisenhower's edges have brought pressure in the backfield all night long. Stevenson doing well on this drive to give Andrew Knight time in the pocket and make some of these throws.
Knight takes the snap, looking to throw. Pass is caught by Jenkins. They'll keep him in bounds at about the 40. That'll be a 5-yard gain. 3rd down and 5, clock is rolling.
And this is so fun. I mean, this is what makes these Friday nights so much fun here on Shelby TV. Under 2 minutes in a one-score game. Whoever comes away with a win here from Swinehart Field, this was a well-earned win either way that it goes.
Knight looking to throw. Pass is caught, complete. Another first down. Ahmed Alawasi. Minute 26, 25, 24. Clock is rolling. First and 10. Knight takes a low snap, looking to run, trying to keep it. We're gonna get a flag here, possibly a late hit.
Yeah, I think just gave him a good little shove at the end of that run as he was already stepping out of bounds. You have to know where you are on the field that time if you're the Eisenhower defense and just let him tiptoe out of bounds.
Let's take a look on the replay. Knight kept his eyes downfield, started to run. Looked like he wanted to stay behind the line of scrimmage to throw.
Yeah, I think it's right there at the end. Looks like they got Devin Steele. And yeah, again, you just have to understand where you are on the field at that point. He was already a good 2-3 yards out of bounds.
Foul on blue. Half the distance to the goal.
And that's an absolutely huge penalty, half the distance. Puts the ball just inside the 15, it looks like. And again, still the 2 timeouts for the Titans on this drive.
Knight looking to throw for the end zone. He's got a man caught. Ty Jenkins, touchdown.
I talked about it on their last touchdown throw to the near corner of the end zone. They've really done well in this second half of picking the matchups that they want to attack on some of these shots down the field. This time a little pump fake and then just kind of hitching to the corner of the end zone, going up against the junior defensive back, Jimmy McGuire that time. Just bit on that pump fake and let his receiver break to the outside.
The extra point is up. And it is good. And for the first time tonight, the Stevenson Titans take a 1-point lead, 21-20.
Take one more look, you'll see right there kind of hitches on his drop back as McGuire loses that outside leverage to the corner of the end zone, and a beautifully thrown ball to Ty Jenkins.
.21 unanswered points by the Titans. 1 minute and 3 seconds to go here for the Eagles.
And Chris, we talked about it on their last drive for the Eagles. You get to about the 20, maybe 25-yard line, you should be in range for Federigo. Stevenson Titans have really buckled down defensively in this second half, and they're 63 seconds away from a huge 21-point unanswered comeback from Swinehart Field.
This kick will be returned from the 5. Trying to find the lane, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Braylon Burnside on the return. 57 seconds to go.
Yeah, and you have to go about 50, maybe 55 yards in order to set up Fedrigo for a game winner. He has had plenty of leg on his kicks tonight.
Crump looking to throw. Pass is caught and out of bounds. Bryce Hurley at the 36-yard line. First down for the Eagles. 52 seconds to go.
Roll him out to the near side. Easy throw to the sideline. All Hurley has to do is catch it and then toe tap out of bounds.
Hurley and Temple to the top. Hayden Bills to the bottom of the formation. Crum looking right. He'll throw it. Pass is caught. Clock will continue to run.
Once again, number 11 to number 6.
And here's the thing, Chris. Just like Eisenhower on that touchdown, can't give up outside leverage here if you're Stevenson.
Crum looking to throw on the rollout. Just over the head, unable to catch it, was Bryce Hurley.
And that was better that time in the secondary for Stevenson. Did better to try and keep everything in front of them, keep everything in the middle of the field. This receiver was blanketed by white jerseys. You see there 1, 2, 3 in the picture with the intended receiver. You have to force everything to the middle of the field right now if you're the Stevenson defense.
Ike still has one timeout in their pocket, 30 seconds to go. Down 1. Still need about 30 yards.
Timeout. Right.
Stevenson calls one of their final 2 timeouts with 1 timeout remaining. They want to get their defense right.
Yeah, and I think they'll discuss just that with their defense. Keep everything to the middle of the field. Lock down both sidelines. Try to keep everything in front of you. Looks like they're going to try and get Preston Crum outside the pocket, give him time to throw, make those throws to the sideline a little bit easier.
Try to get their receivers downfield. Coming out of the timeout, it's 3rd down and 2. Ball is on the 45-yard line. You need about, I would say about 20 yards, 25 yards.
Yeah, at minimum, I'd say.
Crum takes a snap, rolling out. Pass is caught by Charles. Running for the sideline, and he gets there. He's got a first down at the 50. 24 seconds to go. Again, 1 timeout remaining for Eisenhower.
Nobody with Kamari Charles out of the backfield. The closest man was Delory coming from the middle of that Stevenson defense. Just nobody accounting for Charles coming out of the backfield.
Hayden Bills has got to be the big target here. He's at the bottom of the formation. Crum takes a snap. Rolling right in the pocket. Pass is tipped, caught! Hurley, Bryce Hurley down the sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 16 seconds to go.
Deflects off one receiver's hands, gets about 5 yards further downfield, and hello, here's Bryce Hurley.
Here it is again.
Yeah, watch, goes right through the hands of Hayden Bills there. As Hurley, right place, right time, bails him out.
16 seconds to go, 1 timeout still for Eisenhower. Rolling left. And he's just gonna throw this one away. That wasted about 5 seconds. Now it's 11. 11.8 to go. I think you still got one more shot.
11 seconds left on that clock right now.
If you can maybe give it to Kamari Charles, run it into the middle of the field, call a timeout. Maybe Kamari Charles can get about 5 yards on a carry.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You could, as you said, try to take a shot for the end zone and not have to necessarily play for the field goal. But of course, as you said, Chris, that one timeout still in your pocket, that run up the middle, if you can just get maybe 3, 4, 5 yards, puts you within range for Rocco Fedrigo.
Crum takes a snap, rolling left. He's going to keep it himself. And he's just going to get out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. 5 seconds to go.
And Preston Crum on the keeper.
So now this is interesting. I don't think
Just over 5 seconds left.
it looks like he gets, they'll say, about 2 on that play.
And here comes Rocco Fedrigo.
And the crowd getting behind the young man, missed the kick earlier that would have put them up 2 scores. And now has a chance for redemption.
42-yarder. 42-yard field goal. Stevenson's going to use their last timeout.
Timeout. White.
Fedrigo is 2 for 3 tonight with a 30 and a 31-yard field goal. He missed from 32, pushing it just wide.
Timeout on the field by the Titans.
What a great game from Swinehart Field. I mean, there's not much really at this moment in time that you can say about it until the final 5.1 seconds have ticked down. But what an excellent story it would be if the senior Fedrigo could redeem himself from his last kick and send the Eagles to homecoming tomorrow night with a victory on their home field.
42-yard field goal. Kick is up.
And it's good! What a celebration on the field! Rocco Fedrigo, a 42-yard field goal. And Eisenhower comes back. 21 unanswered points from Stevenson. Eisenhower wins the game 23-21. What a game, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let the crowd do the talking for a moment.
One more time on the replay. Just puts his boot in it right down the middle of the uprights.
And Chris, I said it all game long. These kicks he was nailing from 30, 31. He had enough leg to kick it from about 50. That time looked like he could have hit it from 50 as he nails the 42-yarder for the win. What a great game this has been.
This has got to be a huge relief for Chris Smith coming off that loss against Romeo last week. A couple more big MAC Red games coming up in the following weeks. Next week, right here on Shelby TV, the Utica Chieftains taking on Lance Cruz. We'll be back with Eisenhower in 2 weeks when Dakota visits Swinehart Field. For my broadcast partner, Stephen MacDonald, I'm Kris Wright. Your final score tonight, the Stevenson Titans 21, the Eisenhower Eagles 23. Thank you for joining us. Good night.